Imagine waking up one day to find that the place we've called home our entire life is slowly disappearing. The rivers that once flowed are drying up, the birds that give us shade have turned into field, and the air we breathe feels heavier and more toxic. This isn't a nightmare from a distant future, this is happening now in communities around the world as a result of global warming. I'm Neliva, and today I want to talk about something that is impacting all of us. No matter where we live, no matter who we are, global warming is easy to think of as a distant, abstract concept, but the reality is it's here. It's now, and it's affecting every aspect of our life. It's our daily reality. Now let's talk about the science behind global warming. We all know that it's driven by increase in greenhouse gases, mainly carbon dioxide. Released by burning fossil fuels, global temperature have already risen by about 1.2 Celsius since the late 19th century. And scientists warn that we are on track to exceed 1.5 within a decade. And if we continue on this path, we headed to Celsius or even 3 rise. That may not sound like much, but here's the thing, it's a fraction of a degree increase like the whole of extreme weather events. This might sound like a small number, but in the world of climate it's enormous. Ice sheets are melting faster than ever, causing sea levels to rise. Extreme weather events from hurricane to drought are becoming more frequent and devastating. One of the most alarming consequences of global warming is its effect on ecosystem. Coral reefs, which are home to a quarter of marine species, are bleaching and dying at an unprecedented rate. The Amazon rainforest, often called the lungs of the earth, is losing its ability to absorb carbon dioxide. The Earth's environmental loses their existential threat. But the story of global warming is not just about melting glaciers and dying species. It's about people, families, community, and entire nation being displaced by flood, drought, and famine. In some parts of the world, rising sea levels have already forced thousands of people to leave their home. Elsewhere, wildfires now threaten communities with increasing frequency, destroying life and livelihoods. These aren't isolated incidents, they're part of a pattern that is affecting every corner of the globe, and the most vulnerable are paying the highest price. Farmers in Africa whose crops have failed year after year due to erratic rainfall. The emotional toll is immense, but what's even more threatening is that many of those people feel helpless as though the world has turned its back on them. But here's the thing, there is still hope. There are solutions and they are within our reach. We can limit global warming to below 1.5 Celsius if we take bold action now. We can't afford to look away anymore. We have a responsibility, not just to future generations, but to those who are suffering right now. Global warming isn't someone else's problem, it's our spread challenge, and the solutions are within our reach. Transitioning to renewable energy, adapting sustainable agricultural practice, reducing waste, and cutting emissions, these are all steps we can take. Renewable energy sources like wind and solar power are becoming more accessible and affordable. We can reduce our carbon footprint by making changes in our daily life, from the food we eat to the transportation we choose. Government, business, and individuals all have a role playing in transitioning to greener and more sustainable future. The question isn't whether we can act, it's whether we will act fast enough. The choices we make in the next year will determine the fate of our planet for the generation to come. We have the technology, we have the knowledge, and most importantly, we have the responsibility. I leave you with this thought. Global warming is an unsolved problem. It's a challenge we can meet and act with urgency. The earth doesn't need saving, we do. Each of us has a role to play, whether it's advocating for better policies, reducing our carbon footprint, or simply spread awareness. Let's be the generation that steps up, takes action, and ensure that our children inherit a world that is not just livable but thriving. The time to act is now, because our future depends on it. Thank you.